who came to us as seniors. They actually went through the program in 2013 and were our first campus-wide DifferenceMaker team, winning $5,000. Jonathan Eldoretti, and Aaron Caney. They're both currently pursuing their PhD in biomedical and process engineering. And then next, we have Biobubbler, Rachel Paquette. She came to us as a senior. She's now a current alum of UMass Lowell. She has a biology degree from here. And she won Significant Social Impact in 2014, which was a $4,000 award. And then last but not least, love the game over there on the end, Daniel Schmidt and Jessica Dion came to us as juniors and seniors. They won last year, 2015, Significant Social Impact, which was a $4,000 award. So thank you for being here today. They're going to share their experiences with you through the program, as well as with our alumni. So first, we'll start with our 2013 winners, Nonspec. So if you wouldn't mind just first describing a bit about your project.
So we are Nonspec. We aim to develop low-cost, durable prosthetics for developing nations. We make our devices all out of plastic, so it's low cost enough to be financially available to 80% of the amputees worldwide. We have, your other questions are, we were actually able to travel to India last January through a school program and trial our first device with a patient.
So you mentioned that you traveled to India over winter break to begin testing for your prototype. So what did you learn by going to India and actually being able to meet with these patients?
So that's actually kind of a scary question in and of itself. So when we went, we had kind of this picture of who we were trying to help before we went there. And a lot of the time, I remember the first time we went up onto the DifferenceMaker stage, we actually said, well, every year hundreds of thousands of people suffer this problem. But in terms of experience, we'd always experienced it from the US side of things. And it was radically different from when I was telling a story of, okay, well, we're going to be helping this patient who's coming to his clinic and he's having all these difficulties, to seeing a patient who had gone 5 hours out of his way to come just for the chance to maybe get a new limb. And to have that conversation with him and to see him fit and walking without pain for the first time in, I think it was 10 years, was, I mean, it's probably the biggest moment you can have when you realize, oh wow, all those little assumptions that I made, they were accurate, but they don't even closely hold that whole picture that we kind of put out there. And I think for us, that was a huge learning experience, realizing, oh my gosh, we are making this difference that we thought we were. It is as global as we thought it is, and this can help. And that was it was kind of a humbling experience to realize that something we had worked on could potentially go through that.
Great, thank you. It's really making a difference right there. So you had come to DifferenceMaker as seniors, now you're pursuing your PhD. How did DifferenceMaker help you along the way? Why did you get engaged with the program?
So firstly, we found out about the DifferenceMaker program through posters. They were all over campus. We didn't know what they were. And there was free pizza. So we wandered down there. And the first meeting was just great. We were sitting around, we got to meet a bunch of people from all over campus, and just start talking about problems that we see in our day, and talking about different ways that we solved problems in the past, and ones that we want to actually solve. And after that first meeting, our team decided that we wanted to continue to go to these, see what else we could learn, see who else we could meet. And what DifferenceMaker became for us was a way to network and really meet the people that we needed to see our ideas forward so that we could help the most number of people that we could.
Thank you. And we still remember, I'm sure Steve and Hodge can vouch for this, that John and Aaron were at all of our workshops. We have four to five workshops each year to prepare students for our $35,000 Idea Challenge. And you guys were at every single one of them, so congrats for that too. So you've been now working on your project for a few years. What are some of your greatest accomplishments so far?
So that's one of those questions where the answer is really complicated. I think the most important thing that we've gotten out of this, I mean, obviously we've gotten funding, which is wonderful when you've raised I think around $180,000 to $2,000 the last 2 years, which is great. But really, for us, what we've managed to do is increase our network and people that we work with, the scope of what we're able to do. And so, for us, one of the most valuable things we've gotten is from alumni who reached out to us and said, hey, I'm working in this industry, I'd really love it if you come see this. And so even something as simple as making me walk around their factory and see all the things that they do, and the entire time he's sitting there going like, all right, this is a lot bigger scale than what I'm here to do, but okay. And showing us, this is how we can move forward. These are the things that I do, and here's what I'm passionate about, and here's what you are currently about to kind of journey into with no awareness of the fact you're doing that sometimes. And as we do that, it was that network of people that's kept us afloat in some situations, and another time they provided us guidance when we were walking through something that probably didn't.
We were engineers looking at a business model.
I actually have to be honest, the first time we were told to build a business plan, I Googled what is a business plan, and was disappointed when there wasn't an answer. But like things like that, where we had people who were willing to come with us and go, hey, you're wrong. And that was some of the most useful experiences we can get, is the people who sit down and be like, that's not right. And we'd sit there and go, okay, how do we fix that? And those people would guide us through that. So I'd argue those were our biggest value that we've gotten out of this so far.
Great, thank you. And then Nonspec just recently moved into our new innovation hub as well, and they have an office space there, so I'm sure that's very comfortable. All right, next we'll go on to Biobubbler. Rachel is here with us today. So Rachel, if you don't mind just starting describing a bit about Biobubbler and what your project is.
Sure. So my project is called the Biobubbler. It's a slow sand filtration system that purifies water from indigenous materials from developed nations. It purifies water of bacteria without the use of chemicals or electricity.
Great, so you won $4,000 in 2014, so what were you able to do with that money?
So I was able to travel to Haiti twice, thankfully, with this money, and we were also able to get a lot of bacteria testing kit. So the main purpose of this water filtration system is to get rid of the bacteria in the water, and we wanted to make sure that that was actually occurring. The DifferenceMakers allowed that to be tested.
So you mentioned you traveled to Haiti, so while there, what did you learn from your experiences and working with the people there?
So, similar to Nonspec, I had a view from the United States of what Haiti was like. And when I traveled to Haiti, it was very different when I was there. So you can read up on all the statistics you want, but when you actually get to a country that's as impoverished as Haiti, it's something that you can only experience. And one of the major things that I learned from there was that they don't think that their water is contaminated. So they look at it and say, this is the water I've been drinking my entire life, what's wrong with it? So there was a huge education gap there. And the students that I've been working with, just, in the past couple months, have been going back to their home and sending me emails saying, I went home and I couldn't find clean water. I would really like to bring this to my house. This filtration system, which really struck home with me that this is making a difference and these students are learning and it's able to get to communities that really need help.
That's great. So from those experiences, what are you doing now with Biobubbler? Are you coming up with a new system or new education for them?
So we've been trying to spread out to different communities. So we started off in one small community, Lake High in Haiti, and we've been spreading it out to different communities. So now we have two options for different households. They can pay our students to create the bubblers for them, and we will educate them on how to maintain the bubblers and why it is important for them to be drinking this water. Or we do have manuals on how to make it themselves if they choose to try and make it on their own.
Great, thank you so much. We're glad that you were able to travel to Haiti and still in contact with those people. Thank you, Rachel. So like I mentioned, Love the Game won $4,000 from us in 2015, so the idea challenge that just passed. So I'd like to start, if you wouldn't mind just describing what level the game is. Yeah.
Sure. So we are a community outreach program aiming to integrate universities and individuals with developmental disabilities through sports-oriented events held on campus that involve university athletes. Our mission specifically is to extend the joys of participating in collegiate sports to those who might not have the opportunity to do so, and provide an opportunity to connect, learn, and grow through on-campus involved recreational programs. We actually had our first event held last Sunday, and it was a huge success. The men's varsity Riverhawk basketball team came and taught about 12 or 14 kids with developmental disabilities basketball, and it was a great time.
So like with Nonspec, I'm just curious, what made you come to DifferenceMaker with that idea?
So we both have a little bit of a different reason for that. I personally am a huge advocate of exercise and the power of moving and physical activity. I think it has more benefits than any medication does, and I think it's important in all walks of life. So I caught wind of Dan's idea, heard he was looking for an exercise physiology major, and immediately jumped on that. I joined the team, and it's given me an outlet where I can use my passions in a way that's actually benefiting others. And our program provides a fun environment where all of our participants really do get the support and they feel valued, and that's something that you can't get anywhere else. And there's honestly no better way I could be spending my time right now.
You know, when I originally came to DifferenceMakers, my idea was not anywhere near refined to the point that it is now. I came to DifferenceMakers because when I decided that I wanted to major in business, I knew that I didn't want to be working in a cubicle for the rest of my life for a company that I didn't care about. I wanted to forge my own career path that was sports focused and also had a focus on creating a positive impact in the community. So DifferenceMakers actually advertised the necessary tools, the connections, the support, the capabilities to be able to make that goal a reality. And so I joined the program, and they did deliver.
Great, thank you both. Love the Game actually participated in a boot camp, a summer boot camp that DifferenceMaker ran this summer. So through that boot camp, they were actually matched with a mentor. So can you please talk a bit about your mentor and how the mentor program has helped you so far as well?
Sure, my mentor is Tammy Conn-Cannon. She is the CFO of Corporate Technologies in Burlington. She has a great business mind. She has given me tips on being a good leader and manager for my team. She's given me good advice towards marketing tactics and techniques. She's helped us allocate our funding to use it very efficiently, and she has been instrumental in developing our project plan that led up to our first clinic last Sunday, and even showed up on Sunday to help with some of the grunt work because she cares so much about what we're doing. So we could really not be more thankful for all that she's contributed.
Good about it. She's been such a great help. So thank you. You all should have received a mentor postcard. So if you are interested in getting involved in a mentor program or getting linked up to a team, feel free to shoot me an email or differencemaker@uml.edu, and we can help get you involved in that. So I think there is a little bit of time for questions. So if anyone has questions, maybe we can take 2 or 3 audience questions. If anyone has any questions for the teams? Yes.
Some of these people are making some really interesting products. Is there any interest in getting patents and what roles universities play in that?
So Nonspec can answer that one for you, I think.
So actually, we are, as far as I'm aware, we are the first students who've actually gone through the intellectual property process with the university. And they were incredibly helpful to us for walking us through all the major steps. We've developed an entirely new technique for handling IP in student cases. And it's one of those processes where it was a lot of give and take, and where we said we really need to have this kind of agreement if we can move forward, and they were very receptive to that. And as far as I know, we may have one of the only agreements of its kind anywhere. I don't know any other students who've been able to get such a beneficial to both parties deal. And they were incredibly supportive of the whole process. I mean, if you throw a bunch of students trying to get an invention patented, you have the problems of their engineers and their students. And I'm acutely aware of the fact that I was not the easiest person to deal with in that situation, because it was like, well, why not that too? But they were willing to work with us and get through that process. And so any intellectual property that students create for the DifferenceMaker program, as long as they're not under a professor, is theirs. Until such a time as they choose to either assign to the school in the new student deal,
or they can pursue it on their own. And I know that there are other groups that have gotten advice from our IP office saying, here's how you're going to do this, here's the things you need to go through, here's what you can and cannot say. Most important thing that no one really told us to start with. And going through all that it's not the easiest thing ever, but it's certainly much more accessible than if I tried to do that as a young startup going through just like, I'll make it happen. Yeah, and they're working on it, so.
Yeah, the IP office has been very helpful in the process of helping our students answer questions about IP, and in Nonspec's case, actually submitting a patent for them. Thank you. Yes?
I just have a comment to make. It's not a question, but coincidentally, when I was having lunch with my assistant today, I mentioned that I was coming here tonight, and she said, "Oh, my son participated in the Love of the Game program," and she absolutely raved about it, and he loved it, and he had a fabulous time. It was Andrew. Do you remember Andrew?
Yes, we do. We're glad to hear it.
Yeah, she loved it, and he loved it, and they thought, she said it was just fabulous, and she couldn't say enough about it.
That's so great. Good job, Dad. We have to thank, they actually came in and videotaped the event since the basketball team was there volunteering. And so you can find the video, it's a great video, on either the Love of the Games Facebook page and the DifferenceMaker Facebook page. We've also posted it and shared it. So it's about a 2-minute video, but it's great. It really shows the impact that you guys are making on the community and with those kids. So thank you for that comment, that's great. All right, one more, yes.
This is a question to Rachel with Biobubbler. Have you thought of any corporate linkage to your device? Because I recently saw, I don't know if you're familiar with the Bean Slingshot device. I saw a documentary. He was trying to develop a water purification system, but it does require power, so it's different. But he found the biggest problem that he had getting it was distribution. He linked up with Coca-Cola to kind of use their distribution network. And he's right up in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm not saying not to contact him, but it's such a related area. I wondered how you thought of how you could get your product in it, because even someone like him had to link up with someone else to get it.
So luckily there's a professor at UMass Lowell, Dr. Robert Giles, who has a development center down in Haiti. So that was the major reason that I started in Haiti, and the reason this idea came through fruition, really. So I was able to travel with him to his development site, and at his development site he has students there who are learning and are currently taking UMass Lowell courses. So they are really the key to this project. So they are doing it while I'm here, and they send me reports. So that's how I was able to get there.
All right, thank you so much for your questions, and once again, thank you for being here. And thank you to our student teams for continuing on and making a difference. So thank you all.